morning everyone! Mabuhay! Today we will take you around the famous landmarks in the durian capital of the Philippines, Davao. On behalf of Larga Traveling Tours, I am Rocky, one of your step-on guides for the whole Davao tour. Beside me is one of the most important person in the bus, our coach captain, Kuya Jay. And while we are heading to our first destination, I'd like to take a minute to familiarize you with the area and discuss some brief friendly reminders and safety precautions. First, synchronize your time to my time so that no one will be left behind. So on my time, it's now 7 o'clock in the morning. Second, always follow the itinerary that is given to you and stay in close proximity with your seatmate as they will be your buddy for the whole tour. Third, pay attention to your belongings to avoid unnecessary loss and please ensure cleanliness. Lastly, you'll be given at least 10 to 15 minutes to use the restroom to avoid hampering the tour. And now I welcome you to Davao City. Davao City is the home of the country's Philippine eagle and the grandfather of Philippine mountains, Mount Apo. The city is the largest city in Mindanao and is regarded as de facto capital of the island. In Spanish, Davao City is called Ciudad de Davao. In Tagalog, it is Lungsod ng Davao. And in Cebuano, it is Tacbayan sa Davao. The city is the 87th fastest growing city in the world with a population of over 1.4 million and declared as one of the 10 Asian cities in the future. The motto of the city, which is known by numerous nicknames in love, peace, and progress, from islands to highlands. Davao is diverse as there are a lot of spoken languages in the city, which includes Dabawenyo, Boholano, Tagalog, English, Spanish, Chabacano, Ilonggo, Ilocano, Chinese, Japanese, Bagobo, Mansakan, and Kapampangan. The most interesting yet common fact about the city is that the former President Rodrigo Duterte lives here and is often coined as one of the safest city in the Philippines. So our first attraction is where you can spot the country's national bird. To your left-hand side, you can see the Philippine Eagle Center, which is an 8.4 hectare area located at the foothills of Mount Apo in Malagos, Baguio District, Davao City, and situated within the Malagos watershed. The PEC operates as a conservation breeding facility for the Philippine eagle and other birds of prey. The Philippine Eagle Center is home to 36 Philippine eagles, 18 of which are captive bred. Simulating a tropical rainforest environment, the center offers the visitor a glimpse into the country's forest ecosystem. In 1977, one of the Peace Corps volunteers, Robert S. Kennedy, returned to the Philippines to study the eagle further. He also successfully lobbied for the office of the president to change the species name from monkey-eating eagle to its present name, the Philippine eagle. We're now departing from the Philippine Eagle Center, and now we're heading to our second attraction, the Malagos Garden Resort. This resort, as you can see to your left-hand side, covers an area of 12 hectares for ecotourism activities. It is accredited as a farm tourism site by the government's Department of Tourism. It is known for its chocolate museum, orchid farm, and chocolate spa. Here's a quick trivia for you today. They have a long history of adoration, devotion, and reverence for our country. On the foothills of Mount Talomo, Robert Puentes Pina and Charita Puentes Pina purchased the first farm in the 1963. From this point, Miss Charita Puentes Pina, a farmer in spirit and breed, planted a variety of banana trees, coffee plants, and coconut trees. Then starting in 1977, she started caring for and cultivating orchids and the property. It became what is today after incorporation in 1988. Its four primary manufacturing processes are the production of cut flowers, cut foliage, orchids and pot plants, and decorative and landscape plants. Many years later, the land became the Malagos Garden Resort. And the fun fact is that Malagos Garden Resort villas are named after our plants, which shows her deep adoration for plants. For our third attraction, we departed from Malagos Garden Resort and we have arrived here at one of the most famous parks in Davao, the People's Park, Davao. Looking at your right-hand side, you can spot the 4-hectare wide cultural theme park featuring a mini forest, man-made falls, a dancing fountain at night, fish ponds, children's playground, and a giant durian dome. Inaugurated on December 15, 2007 and was named People's Park, which was chosen among the 918 entries of the Name the Park contest organized by the city government. The winning name was by Romeo Sardon, a retired engineer and seaman. The park features a durian dome, a fruit endemic in Davao, mini forests, and large sculptures made by Kublai Milian, the same designer and co-owner of Ponce Suites, a gallery or artwork hotel located in Davao City. The Durian Dome is where the visitor center is located. Visitors can actually go up a flight of stairs to the dome. The dome spikes are a reminiscence of the durian fruit for which Davao City is famous. So once again, I am Rocky, your step-on guide for the first 4 attractions here in Davao. I'm now passing the platform to our next step-on guide, Donna.
Thank you, Rocky, for the wonderful introduction. Hello, tourists. So my name is Donna Villajoy Apolonio, but you can call me DJ for short. And I'll now be continuing our Davao tour. So next up in our itinerary is the Bone Collector Museum. So we have now departed from the People's Park, Davao. To your right hand, you can see the Bone Collector Museum. It is a unique museum here in Davao. It is a privately owned museum that was established in 2012 by Darrell Blatchley, a wildlife advocate and bone collector. The museum features a vast collection of bones, skeletons, and preserved animals from various parts of the world. The museum's main objective is to raise awareness about the importance of wildlife conservation and educate the public about the various animals, species, and other habitats. The museum collections include skeletons of different animals such as whales, dolphins, sea turtles, crocodiles, and various bird species. It also has preserved specimens of snakes, insects, and other marine creatures. We are now departing from the Bone Collector Museum and we are now heading to San Pedro Cathedral. The San Pedro Cathedral, also known as the Cathedral of St. Peter, is a historic church here in the city. It is the oldest church in the city and is considered one of its most important landmarks. The church was first built in the late 19th century, but it has undergone several renovations and reconstruction over the years. The cathedral's architecture is a combination of Spanish and Filipino influences. It features a bell tower, stained glass windows, and spacious interior that can accommodate up to 2,000 people. The cathedral facade is made of coral stone and its interior walls are decorated with intricate murals and paintings. The cathedral is the seat of the Archdiocese of Davao, and it is the central of the Catholic community in the city. We're now departing from San Pedro Cathedral and we're on our way to our next attraction. And here we are, so if you will just look to your left hand side, you can see the Crocodile Park. This park is an establishment that showcases a state-of-the-art crocodile farming system in the Philippines. It has the most recent crocodile farm design equipped with modern facilities and equipment. The presence of other exotic animal species like raptors, monkey and bear cats, snakes, birds, and other reptiles make it one of the most desired tourist destinations in Davao. The Davao Crocodile Park all started from the enchantment of the owner, Mr. Philip Dizon, to freshwater and saltwater crocodiles. It was not in his mind that this is a money-making business until he realized that crocodiles are raised in the United States of America. not just for public viewing but for production of leather to be made into bags, belt, and shoes as well. It was in November 1995 when the government gave Mr. Phil Dizon the accreditation and permits to operate the first ever Davao Crocodile Park. 10 years later, on August 18, 2005, the world-class Crocodile Park was opened with the help of the consultant Dr. Gilbert Buenviaje. The Davao Crocodile Park Inc. is owned and operated by a group of businessmen headed by Mr. Sonny Dizon, who's a resident of Davao City. So, for the upcoming attraction, AJ will give you remarkable information. Once again, I'm DJ, your step-on guide. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for introduction, DJ. Hi tourists, I'm your step-on guide, AJ, or you may call me Master AJ. We have just departed from our previous attraction, the Crocodile Park, and we are now heading to our next attraction. To your right is the Eden Nature Park and Resort, or more commonly known as Eden, which was discovered in 1971. It used to be a log-over area covered by a blanket of wild grass. Not long after, terraces were carved out of the mountain slope and thousands of pine seedlings were planted. Eden Nature Park and Resort and JVA group of companies, with its chairman Miguel M. Ayala, earlier said that Eden is the living legacy of his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Jesus Chito V. Ayala and Fe Misa Ayala. Eden Nature Park and Resort in Davao was named after the famous biblical garden because of its lush greens and serene gardens that will help anyone seeking a quiet retreat in the middle of the city. For the next stop, we will be having first our lunch. So we're departing from Eden and will now be heading to Zarza de Ambros. Now that we've had our lunch, we'll now depart from Zarza de Ambros. So let's now go to our next attraction. We have in your left hand side one of the most popular museums in the city, Museo Dabawenyo. This museum was established through City Ordinance number 0266-06 to acquire documents, historical artifacts, preserve, exhibit, and foster scholarly study and appreciation of work of art, specimens, and cultural artifacts pertaining to Davao City history, culture and arts of the Dabawenyos and general public. The creation was spearheaded by Mrs. Soledad Duterte. In 2005, headed by Mayor Rodrigo R. Duterte, the museum is geared toward better historical and cultural awareness. The Filipino term Dabawenyo is used to be described locals from Davao. Museo Dabawenyo is directly translated to the Museum of the People of Davao. The museum is one of the two most popular museums in Davao and is commonly referred to the New Museum for obvious reasons. Coincidentally, the other museum is known to be the Old Davao Museum. It was the first opened to the public on the 71st celebration of Davao's Day on March 14, 2008. The entire museum is subdivided into 4 rooms: the Indigenous People Gallery, the Moro People Gallery, the Contemporary Gallery, and the Memorabilia Gallery. Once again, I'm your Master AJ, one of your step-on guide, and I'm now passing the platform to your next step-on guide, Althea. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for the introduction, AJ. Hi everyone, I'm your last step-on guide for today's tour. My name is Althea. And I hope you're enjoying the tour so far around the city of Davao, because now we'll be moving to the most prominent mountain in the country. To your right, you can spot the highest mountain in the Philippines, Mount Apo. The mountain stands at an elevation of 9,692 feet, which is also a dormant volcano. There are 5 indigenous people residing here, namely the Manobos, the Bagobo, the Atas, Ubos, and Tagacaulo. Mount Apo National Park was established in 1936 and is the home of the rare Philippine eagle. This Mount Apo National Park is regarded to be one of UNESCO heritage and acknowledged as an ASEAN Heritage Park. The name of Mount Apo comes from Apo, which is a title of respect, meaning revered elder in various languages of the surrounding Luman tribes. It is the shortened form of the original Manobo and Kalgan name Apo Sandawa, the name of the spirit of the mountain. Apo Sandawa is also regarded as an ancestor spirit by the various Manobo and Kalgan tribes living in the foothills. We are now departing Mount Apo and will be heading to our last attraction, the Kadayawan Village. We have now arrived here, so looking at your left-hand side is the Kadayawan Village. This is an effort by the Davao City Tourism Office that was made to protect and preserve the Philippines' beautiful and colorful culture for future generations. This village, which is also known as a culture peace hub, is located in Davao's Ramon Magsaysay Park, where the culture homes of the Lumad and Moro groups were relocated and reconstructed. These homes are a striking display of Philippine architecture, but beyond their homes, the area also spotlights their important rituals and traditions. For example, a weaving machine important to the Iranon tribe's way of living can be found in the village, allowing visitors to get a glimpse into their day-to-day lives. The best time to visit here is during the annual Kadayawan Festival held every third week of August. The festival is celebrated on a grand scale where the whole city is lit up in vibrant colors. They celebrate this festival as gratitude for the celebration of life, thanksgiving for the gifts of nature, the wealth of culture, and the bountiness of harvest and serenity of living. The festival was previously known as Apo Duwaling Festival, named after three icons of Davao: 1. Mount Apo, 2. Durian, and the Waling-Waling Orchid. But in 1988, the festival was officially named Kadayawan Festival by then Mayor, now former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte. One of the highlights of the Kadayawan Festival is the Indak-Indak sa Kadalanan, which translates to street dancing. This is a showcase of the diverse indigenous cultures of the region. The festivities feature different communities in Mindanao dancing in vibrant costumes that highlight their indigenous heritage. And that concludes our Davao tour. We're going to be pulling up to the hotel in just a few minutes. I ask that you remain seated until we have come to a complete stop. Please double check to make sure your bags has been taken off the bus. So before I end the tour, let me just share a famous quote by Bud Mayer that says, "The moment may be temporary, but the memory is forever." With that said, this trip may be brief, but I hope it's a memorable one. Thank you everyone, and on behalf of Larga Travel and Tours, I'm once again Althea, your step-on guide, now signing off. I wish you had a pleasant and memorable vacation here in Davao. Have a safe trip back, and we look forward to being of service to you again.